Hi, this is Leigh, and I'm the Executive Director and Founder of the Foster Haven Foster Care Closet Services here in Lincoln. And I just want to share with you a little bit about what we do, how we serve the Lincoln community, and ask you to consider joining us in this journey. We're passionate about restoring dignity to children in crisis as they enter into the foster care system. Many times our kiddos are coming into foster care with just the clothes that they're wearing, and oftentimes our case managers are still needing to either identify a foster home, or they're needing to finalize background checks before a kiddo can actually go to that foster home. And so what we do is we provide a way to lessen the trauma in those first hours of care. There's no way we're going to get away from the kids experiencing a life-changing traumatic event. But what we do want to do is we want to lessen that, and by providing ways that show our kiddos that we care about what's happening to them, and that we're here to walk alongside them, their families, and the foster care community in ways that support meeting their physical needs. The first way we do that is we provide a space that case managers can bring the kiddos when it's been identified that they need to be removed from their home because they are in an unsafe situation. And what that does is it allows us to be able to make sure that kids are fed and that they are able to shop for 5 brand new outfits of clothing before they ever get to their foster home. What that does is it speaks to our kiddos in a way that says, we know your needs, we're paying attention to those needs, and we're here to meet those needs. It also restores dignity to our case managers, who are truly frontline workers. And what we want to do is we want to come alongside of them, and we want to be a support for them, in that we're there to help meet those physical needs that the kids have. And then we provide a space that allows them to do the work they need to do without the kiddos overhearing sensitive conversations. And so that speaks dignity to our case managers. And then finally, we speak dignity to our foster care community by making sure that what we are providing is the very best of what we are able to provide. We know that many kids start off this journey in a way that most of us just can't even imagine. Some of us have lived through an experience where maybe we've faced a tornado or a flood and we've lost everything. And we know how devastating it can be. The things that matter most are often the things that can't be replaced. They're a picture, they're a soft blanket, they're a specific stuffed animal. And so while we can't replace some of those things, what we can do is we can offer another comforting item in the midst of this crisis. As we look forward, because we're always looking forward, we're always looking at how do we provide better services, how do we provide services that meet a more rounded need for our foster care community. And so this year, as we've looked forward, we have begun the process of working side by side with DHHS to strengthen the support to our case managers and create what we're calling a case manager coffee house. Basically what that is it's going to provide a space for our case managers who maybe have court dates that are on top of each other. You know, maybe there's one at 10, maybe the next one's at 1, maybe the next one's at 2:30. So they're close together, but they're not close enough to stay at the courthouse to do work, and they're too close together to drive the 7 miles back to their south offices. So in cooperation with DHHS, we're working to create a workspace that will help meet the need of where case managers can go and work in a dignified manner, not sitting behind the wheel of their car, not having to pay $5 to get a coffee so they can access the local coffee shop Wi-Fi and then be kicked out an hour later, but a space that's truly designed for them, for the work that they do in an environment that wants to come alongside and support them. The other aspect that we have been working with DHHS on, and the reason that we're having to film this outside, is because we're going to be creating, as we have grown in our space, we're going to be creating what is going to be 2 visitation areas along with a commons area that's going to be able to provide a more family-like setting for our families who are working on reunification but don't have a home yet where they can have that visit. And so what we're going to be creating is a way for those families to have that authentic feel of being in their own space by providing an area that's got more of that apartment feel, that home-like feel. And we're going to be able to offer the availability for them to make meals through using Instapot and a toaster oven. So our families aren't having to bring just fast food or junk food to visits. Most of you may not be aware, but oftentimes when families are working to reunite, they do these visits over meal times. And our families are in positions where they're meeting in the conference room of a local agency or even DHHS. There's no home-like feel to that. And we want to be able to stand in the gap that helps those families know what it's going to feel like, that they have the opportunity to have that experience and get accustomed to having a crying baby and a 3-year-old pulling on your pant leg and a 6-year-old screaming in the background going, "I'm hungry." We want to provide that in an atmosphere where it's safe, where if it's not done perfectly, it's okay because we're there to support them. And that's how they learn to become better at their parenting skills. That's how the kids learn to cope and manage through those times where they're starving, but they're going to have to wait a few minutes for dinner or lunch to be ready. And so that's the point behind creating the visitation piece for our families. And our whole purpose is about restoring dignity in a very undignified system. We want to bring the personalization to a foster care system that often tries to treat people in one blanket statement. And as you look at the many nonprofits today, and there are over 400 of us that are coming together to participate in Get to Lincoln Day today, as you look at that, we want to ask you to consider the work that we're doing for the future that we want to have and create and build here in Lincoln. And we would ask you to consider giving your gift to the Foster Care Closet. Thank you.